I've been involved all my life. My family, my mum and dad had a holiday letting business, so I really grew up with it. Had a patch when I was away in London living, but when I returned back, started again with just a pair of holiday lets attached to our main family home, but then inherited with one of my brothers 3 houses in a row, and we started a development afterwards and started this build in 2014. So it's been sort of throughout my life. And we're at the point now where we thought we'd finished all building, but now we've got one last house to do. But we've also developed the properties we already had, the existing houses. So they've all been refurbished. So we're now looking at probably 8 years of work. 2014, we started this house, 11 months to build, came online 2015, and basically built one house a year. We couldn't afford to build multiple houses all in one go and take all 3 properties out of holiday letting. So we spotted houses in, but built one at a time, brought that online, moved on to the next house, built that, either brought that online or we have sold at least one house that we built. It's a long old project. Well, there was a little girl here once who was staying, and I've repeated this story several times, but I think they'd realised that we owned quite a few properties, and the family had clearly been talking about me. They'd made a call because they needed help in here, so I came down. And the little girl's comment was, "You're really rich." And I just said to her, "But I work really hard." So clearly they'd looked at all the properties and thought, "Wow, that one's really nice. This one we're staying in is really nice. Wow, if that's owned by one person, they are clearly quite wealthy." But in actual fact, I work really hard. And the customer and the client, the guest, always comes first. So in some ways, yes, there's huge investments, but they don't know the background to that. Perhaps the borrowing from banks, the investment that's needed to go in. They just see a lovely house and think you're really wealthy. It's not like that at all. But the other side of it is, and you never want your guests to know about your business and how things are going. But yeah, I work really hard. I just do. And because I want them all to have a lovely holiday. What makes a holiday let business successful? I think it's an eye for detail. You just want your property right. I mean, if you set your property up right at the beginning of the year, January, February, March, when all the hard work happens, if you can run it throughout the season and very little goes wrong, you're grateful. You don't have a washing machine flooding or something like that. It's really attention to detail. Always put the guests first. I always come and see the guests to just say hello so that they know my face, and really try and get everything right. But it's the upkeep as well. We don't ever sit back and do nothing. January and February, March is our time when we get into the properties and we do the things that we want to do to them like this property, built in 2014, repainted every year. It's had a full redecoration last year, one of our others. It's a rolling programme of maintenance. And it's sort of, it is planning a year ahead. We know what we're doing, funnily enough, in one of our other properties. We know we're replacing fascia boards and things like that. We know now, so we know we're going to scaffold that building next year and do that, all new gutters, things like that. It's actually on your mind all the time. What can we do better for the guests? What can we do so that when they arrive, they see new things? So if they've been coming for many years, you just don't want something that's static. If they've paid their money, try and at least put something back for the following year so there is a slight improvement. It doesn't matter what it is, it could be new cushions. We've got new garden furniture here just come in. Just something that they think that what their money they've spent, that they're seeing a slight return for year on year. And just don't let your properties go downhill. Monitor them, look at them, be in them, You don't have to sleep in them. Just be in them and be aware of what could be going wrong. Cleaners are great because the cleaners will look at your properties and tell you if something's broken, hopefully, and then just to attend to it straight away. Why do we use an agency? We use Sykes because it's high profile. I've been using them since our second holiday let that we built came online. We had been using a local agent, but wasn't totally happy with the profile it had and how people would find it. So we went for a national agency because I believed that it was higher in the search engine. So when people were clicking or Googling St Ives holiday accommodation or holiday lets or self-catering, what was at the top was Sykes. So I believed that people would potentially look there first. So I was happy. I did a bit of research on Sykes. I looked at their properties. I realised that they actually didn't have many or any properties in St Ives. So that was a bonus for me. So I approached them. The regional manager came round. I liked him. He was great. So we put our secondly built holiday let online, let that run for the year. And within that year, saw the income was really good. Very happy with Sykes, professionalism. And then this one that we built first, I moved away from the local agent and moved to Sykes. And to be honest, every house we've built since then, and our existing ones we'd redeveloped, they all went online with Sykes, all of them. And even the two new semis that are coming online in July, they're going with Sykes as well. What piece of advice? Well, if you're building, don't be scared of changing. If you're going through a building project, don't be scared of making changes. If your architect has designed your property, they've just designed a house. They don't know how guests live in a house. So if you have thoughts where you think it could be better for a guest, like our wall coming down and us just rearranging the house, be bold about it, because this made the house what it is. In regards, if you're buying a holiday let and you're setting up as a business, attention to detail, really. And don't forget to just try and look at your properties as guests look at it. Look at your property once a year, see what you can do, plan ahead what you can do when it's in the quiet times, November, December, January, and try and upkeep your properties. Don't let them slide. It's really easy to build something and think, oh, that's 10 years maintenance free. It's not. You know, everything needs looking at and really invest in your properties. It might mean you make less profit, but try and keep your property in a tip-top shape.